My girlfriend of 10 years proposed to me 18 times, and she agreed every time, but we never got to the wedding. Her excuses every time were related to her first love. What's even more ridiculous is that even the cat of her first love can affect the progress of our wedding. After repeated disappointments, I completely gave up. Just when I was getting married to my new wife, she begged me madly to give her another chance. I don't want someone who doesn't have me in his heart. I proposed to Liu Ruyan 18 times, and she agreed every time. But I gave her 18 gifts in a row, but she still used all kinds of reasons to postpone the wedding. Qin Feng is taking a driver's license test recently, and I don't want to distract her. Qin Feng's cat is sick. Wouldn't it make her worse to get married now? Qin Feng is in a good mood recently. Let's wait. She is finally happy for once. Qin Feng is her childhood sweetheart, and the man she has secretly loved for 18 years. Later, Liu Ruyan cried and begged my husband, your 19th proposal. As long as you propose to me, we will hold the wedding immediately. I will hold my new wife's palm and show off to her. Who is your husband? I am already married. By the way, if you don't pay back the first 18 betrothal gifts you owe me, you will be sued. After the 18th proposal was successful, Liu Ruyan looked at me with tears in her eyes. You are so good to me. Only you are willing to wait for me again and again without getting tired of it. But can you wait for me for a few more months? I knelt on one knee feeling mixed emotions. Although my relationship with Ruyan has gone through 10 seasons, and I have seen the parents negotiate the betrothal gifts, no one can afford to waste time like this. This is the 18th time and the last time I warned myself. I cleared my throat and spoke with some difficulty. Ruyan really can't delay this time. My parents are old and they can't wait for a zheng. Sorry, Qin Feng's parents won't come back for the new year this year. I can't let Qin Feng be alone. Let's wait for the new year. After the new year, I will definitely marry you this time. Liu Ruyan turned the ring on her hand and interrupted me with a frown before she finished listening. I took a deep breath. Ruyan, as long as you are willing to marry me, we will hold a wedding immediately, and during the new year, the two of us can entertain him together. How can that be possible? Liu Ruyan and Liu's father and mother screamed at the same time. Zheng, you know Qin Feng has always liked me and we, the young couple, entertain him together. Isn't it obvious that it will stimulate him? Liu's mother also smiled and held my hand, saying to her, Xiao Zheng, don't blame Ruyan. We have watched Qin Feng grow up since he was a child, and we have long regarded him as our own child. I really can't bear to see him alone, but don't worry, Qin Feng and Ruyan have been brothers and sisters for a long time, so don't think too much. I have never thought too much. That's why I still want to marry Liu Ruyan after proposing to her 18 times. But it's Qin Feng who interrupts our wedding process every time. I don't even know since when Liu Ruyan can't leave Qin Feng in every sentence. I really can't help but think about it, and Liu's mother is still nagging. Xiao Zheng, Auntie is very supportive of your marriage, but the betrothal gift this time still needs to be given again. One thing for one thing, do you have cash on hand now? It's better to give it now so you don't have to run again tomorrow. No need. I sighed, stood up and turned to Liu Ruyan with a resolute tone. Ruyan, Qin Feng is an adult man. I don't believe he can't even live by himself. My dad is in the intensive care unit and can't wait any longer. If you don't want to marry me this time, then let's break up. Liu Ruyan's face suddenly darkened, and she pulled the ring off her ring finger and threw it hard on my face. Liu Zhenghao, I gave you face. Didn't you dare to treat my mother like this, and dare to threaten me with breaking up? I tell you, I will refuse this proposal as a punishment for you. You reflect on yourself. I picked up the ring and nodded, without saying a word, picked up the large and small bags of New Year specialties I brought, and left Liu Ruyan without looking back. When the door was closed, I heard Liu's mother scolding Liu Ruyan. She was angry. Why did she need a ring? The diamond was so big and looked expensive. Liu Ruyan interrupted angrily, saying, Can you have some backbone? With her dog-licking behavior, she will come to ask for marriage for the 19th time in a few days with a bigger diamond ring in hand. I can just agree to it when the time comes. If I agree every time, others will think that I, Liu Ruyan, am easy to pursue. It will be bad if it gets out. I sneered. I threw the diamond ring into the sewer in front of his house. He also knew that he had asked for marriage 18 times and agreed every time. It would be bad if it got out. But I have been with him for almost 10 years. I asked for marriage 18 times, but I still couldn't marry the girl who has been with me for 10 years. Will it sound good if it gets out? What's more, my dad is lying in the intensive care unit, hoping to see me get married before he dies, but he is getting more and more angry at the news of my failed proposals. These 18 proposals are my explanation of my 10 years of love. In this case, even my hot face can't warm Liu Ruyan's cold butt, so forget it. I would rather throw away this ring than give it to him again. Before I got home, I received a message from Qin Feng in the car. What should I do, Mr. Xiaolu? I won the bet again. I didn't expect that my position in Ruyan's heart was so important. It affected your marriage plan with Ruyan. I'm so sorry. This is the first time I drink nancha. I just feel nauseous. While waiting for the traffic light, I opened the dialog box and sent a message. A screenshot of the chat came over. The screenshot showed that Qin Feng deliberately sent his parents away and let his parents go on vacation abroad during the new year. The money for the two elders to go on vacation was even paid by Liu Ruyan. Even the chicken and wine were arranged by Liu Ruyan herself. Liu Ruyan knew that I would propose to him for the 18th time on our anniversary, and she was also very clear that the time when Qin Feng's parents went on vacation was entirely decided by him, but he still chose to postpone the marriage, just because he was fearless and took it for granted that I had proposed to him 18 times, so there would definitely be a 19th time. I just felt a sigh. It was obvious that we were not like this before. It was obvious that Liu Ruyan was very clingy to me before. When she was gone for a while, she would throw herself into my arms and act coquettishly for a long time. When did she change? I was in a confused state of mind and started a second slower without noticing. I was actually rear-ended by the car behind me. I had insurance, and with the mentality of doing more good deeds for the old man, I didn't plan to make a fuss. I just planned to leave the other party a phone number and deal with it later. Unexpectedly, a girl came down from the opposite side. She was in a professional suit and seemed to be busy with some project. The girl had a guilty look on her face. After seeing my car logo, she bit her lip and didn't say anything. After taking a deep breath, she walked to my car window, stuffed a business card into me and spoke very quickly. "Sorry, sir. I started in a hurry and hit you. I take full responsibility, but I have important things to do now. I'll call you tomorrow afternoon, okay?" I waved my hand and said, "Forget it." I was absent-minded and slow to react just now. We went our separate ways. Let's go for insurance. The girl's eyes stayed on Qin Feng's chat interface for a while. Then she looked away calmly and stubbornly stuffed in a private phone number. The horns honked from the back. This traffic accident was quickly resolved by us. I drove the broken car back to the hospital and stayed by my father's bedside in the hospital. I was uneasy. The image of the tea aroma in Qin Feng's tea flashed in my mind, and then Liu Ruyan's pride in strategizing flashed in my mind, and then the private number that I had thrown away flashed in my mind. I shook my head, trying to force myself to be more sober. The eldest brother woke up rarely, came over, held my hand and asked me where Ruyan was. "Why didn't she come with you?" My throat was sour and I didn't dare to answer. My eyes fell on Liu Ruyan's circle of friends. A minute ago, Liu Ruyan updated her circle of friends. Today is a special day. The picture is the flower wall that I asked someone to arrange when I proposed to her, and the photo of Liu Ruyan and Qin Feng taking a photo with their faces close together in front of the flower wall. Qin Feng left a message below, and the most important person. The first time meeting the parents, the 20th anniversary. Liu Ruyan replied in seconds. "Idiot. It's the 21st anniversary." I didn't want to watch them flirting, so I clicked to block Liu Ruyan's circle of friends, but Qin Feng was still around, and continued to take screenshots and send private messages to harass me. "Brother Liu, today is the 21st anniversary of Ruyan and I'm meeting the parents. You shouldn't be angry if I borrow Ruyan for a day, right? Look at my brain, I forgot that today is your love anniversary, but Ruyan didn't seem to remember it at all. I guess you don't care too much about this kind of anniversary, right?" I rubbed my eyebrows and replied to Qin Feng for the first time. "Liu Ruyan, I'll give it to you. You don't have to discuss me on purpose from now on." The other side immediately sent back a selfie. Liu Ruyan drank too much, her cheeks were flushed, and she fell into Qin Feng's arms. I was afraid that Brother Liu would be angry, so I didn't dare to send it. Since Brother Liu is angry and doesn't want to take care of Ruyan, then I will be a good person to the end and help you take care of her for a few days. I clenched my fist and made up my mind. Liu Ruyan explained clearly. "Liu Ruyan, let's break up. We have been in a relationship for 10 years and I have been holding on alone for 5 years. I was tired, I fanned myself and typed for a long time, and then I sent a line of words but I received a red exclamation mark directly. Liu Ruyan deleted me. The message from Qin Feng soon came again. It was a voice note sent by Liu Ruyan using Qin Feng's number. "Liu Zhenghao, you didn't come to coax me after 5 hours. I deleted you. This is the second punishment I give you. You should reflect on yourself tonight. I want to see a 10,000-word apology essay on Qin Feng's phone when I wake up tomorrow. Don't try to fool me. I have Qin Feng's. He is also a man and can tell at a glance whether you are apologizing sincerely. By the way, didn't you make an appointment to try on wedding dresses in 3 days? I'm still angry. Qin Feng and I can go to choose then. You don't have to come. Anyway, you don't have as good taste as Qin Feng, and it's useless even if you come." I forgot to connect the Bluetooth headset. This voice message was not small for me. My heart was broken. My father heard it clearly. His breathing became rapid in an instant. He looked at me in disbelief. "Ajong, did you and Ruyan really have a fight? Will my body last until my son gets married? What a sin. This was the only wish your mother had before she passed away. You have been dating for 10 years and you still can't get married. How can I explain to your mother if you let me go down?" Seeing that my father was about to bring out those heart-wrenching words again, I had no choice but to change my tone and promise him that I would get married. "Don't worry, I will get married. This matter cannot be rushed. I can only promise to get married, but I cannot guarantee that I can have children with him. After all, if I was so anxious just to let him carry on the family line, then I would be inhuman." I proposed to Liu Ruyan again and again before, partly because I really loved him, and I thought I would never marry anyone else except him. The other part was that I felt guilty. I always felt that because of my parents' dying instructions, it is irresponsible to marry a girl in such a hurry, but I forgot that some people are not worthy of your responsibility. No longer entangled, I raised my hand and deleted Liu Ruyan's contact information. Since my father wants to watch the wedding, I have made preparations to find someone to act, and I am unwilling to go back and beg Liu Ruyan again. The phone rang and I thought it was Liu Ruyan coming to ask for an explanation, and I cursed back, "Liu Ruyan, I am already engaged to someone else. You and your Qin Feng should live a good life. Don't discuss me. There was a chuckle on the other end of the phone. Who are you engaged to, Mr. Liu? Su Qing? You don't know. Hello, Mr. Liu. I'm Su Qing. I just finished the company's affairs. Now I can talk to you about compensation. I was stunned and pulled the phone away from my ear. The caller ID showed that it was an unfamiliar number. It was the business card I was unconsciously holding in my hand. The owner of the phone business card was Su Qing. Thinking that I had just unconsciously used Su Qing as a shield, and even covered the owner in front of me, my face turned red from the pain to my ears. On the other end of the phone, Su Qing spoke slowly. Mr. Xiaolu, your car was hit too badly. Your company is in debt at the beginning of its business. We can't afford to pay it back. But if I marry you, can you waive my interest? Dad's ears were not very good, so he didn't hear anything clearly. He just heard the word marriage. He happily snatched the phone and got married. Girl, you have fulfilled my and his mother's dream. We will bless you for the rest of your life. I gritted my teeth and signed a marriage contract with this stranger, who I had only known for one day. After excluding Liu Ruyan's option, Su Qing was indeed the best choice compared to the women around her, who had ulterior motives. Su Qing did not hesitate to notarize her premarital property with me, and also made it clear that she married me because single women had a hard time in the business world. With my identity as her wife, she could have many more resources, but she would fight for all the resources on her own and would never need my help. That's it. 3 days later, Su Qing and I prepared all the wedding matters and walked into the ceremony hall. Our wedding was widely reported by major business newspapers. There were even rumors that I had prepared a rare pigeon egg to give to Su Qing at the wedding. The pigeon egg was naturally a figment of my imagination, but out of guilt, I prepared 8 million yuan as a gift to Su Qing before the wedding. After all, Su Qing was getting married for the first time. Because of my family's wishes and Liu Ruyan's betrayal, I had ruined the reputation of a strange girl. I felt really bad. Su Qing looked at me thoughtfully with her head tilted. She didn't say anything, but lowered her head and sent a message to someone unknown. The wedding ceremony began. Dad sat in a wheelchair, holding Mom's portrait. I cried my heart out until the MC raised the microphone and asked, "Does anyone object to this wedding?" The door was kicked open, and Liu Ruyan rushed into the wedding hall in a wedding dress, with her veil pinned crookedly on the back of her head and her high heels broken at the roots. "I object to Liu Zhenghao. I'm no longer angry. You can ask that actor to leave." Seeing that I didn't move, Liu Ruyan got angry and took off her high heels and threw them at Su Qing. "Hey, you stand-in. How can you be so unprofessional? The protagonist is here and you're still here. Why are you staying here? Take off your wedding dress and high heels and let me put them on. And husband, take out your pigeon egg. We're an old married couple, so there's no need for surprises. Just go through the process." I blocked the high heels for Su Qing and threw them back to Liu Ruyan's feet, sneering, "Who is your husband?" Su Qing also laughed, holding the ring box tightly in her own hands, and wrapped my hand in hers. "Miss, who is your husband? There is only my husband on the stage now. Bah, you shameless vixen, you dare to snatch my man. Can you snatch him away? He is the man who proposed to me 18 times, and I have been with him for 10 years. Everything should be based on first come first served, right? I just had a quarrel with my husband for a few days. What has it got to do with you?" Su Qing was not panicked at all, and waved away the slap that Liu Ruyan was about to slap, and spoke word by word. "There is no first come first served. Only legitimate. Sorry, I am now Mr. Liu's legitimate wife." After saying that, Su Qing took out 2 marriage certificates, on which were my and Su Qing's ID photos and identity information. Liu Ruyan looked at them again and again in disbelief, and then asked me, Zheng with a trembling chin, "Is it true?" At this moment I felt relieved and even a little fortunate. "It's absolutely true. It can't be fake, Liu Zhenghao. You really tried your best to piss me off. You are so awesome." Liu Ruyan went crazy and tore Su Qing's and my marriage certificate to pieces, and then collapsed on the ground. "Zheng, you succeeded. I admit that I was jealous. You won the game, so let's end it here. Zheng, I just want you to ask me for the 19th. We got married right away for the first time." At this moment I was about to sternly refuse. My father held my hand and motioned me to wait. Within a minute, a boy still in groom's clothes ran into the hall breathlessly, complaining to Ruyan. "Why did you take a taxi and didn't wait for me?" His words overlapped with Liu Ruyan's words begging me to marry him, and were finally buried in Liu Ruyan's heartbreaking roar. Qin Feng looked at Liu Ruyan in disbelief and pointed at himself. "If you really want to marry him, then what's the point of all my years? I accompanied you to drink, played with you, accompanied you to the bridal shop to try on wedding dresses, and played the role of the groom. I thought I already had a place in your heart. Then, who am I?" Liu Ruyan was stunned. Then a trace of disgust flashed across her face. "No matter how awesome you are just a tool for me to make a Zheng angry. How can you take yourself so seriously? I should have been with you a long time ago if I wanted to. Why did I stay with a Zheng for 10 years? Qin Feng's suit and dress was worn out with a dirty piece of cloth to absorb a torn piece. He looked so embarrassed. Hearing Liu Ruyan's ruthless insult at this moment, he was devastated. He couldn't cry or laugh. "Then why did I choose me every time I found an excuse to ruin your wedding?" Liu Ruyan rolled her eyes. Of course she wanted to test whether a Zheng really loved me. "What does it have to do with you? Go away, brother Dai, don't embarrass yourself." I suddenly understood what Su Qing meant. I squeezed her palm, and a sweet warmth passed through my skin into my heart. "Security, throw these 2 embarrassing things out, and let the wedding continue." Liu Ruyan widened her eyes. "Liu Zhenghao, are you serious? You gave this woman a pigeon egg and 8 million betrothal gifts. On what basis did she only know you for 3 days? I have been with you for 10 years, and you gave her 18 betrothal gifts which only added up to more than 3 million. I nodded. "Yes, I gave you 18 betrothal gifts, but I didn't wait for your wedding. By the way, if you hadn't told me, I would have almost forgotten. Remember to return this 3 million betrothal gift to me. Tomorrow, the Liu Group's legal department will come to contact you. If you don't want to be sued, don't have other thoughts. Just say it. I stopped looking at him and knelt on one knee. I slowly put the shining ring in my hand into Su Qing's ring finger. Su Qing whispered, Lu Jinghao, I called the person here. I just want you not to regret it. If you can't bear it now, the wedding can be cancelled at any time. Our contract is invalid. Yes, the contract is invalid. Now there is no contract. Are you still willing to marry me? Facing Su Qing's surprised eyes and Liu Ruyan shouting in insults, I carefully stabilized Su Qing's lips. Liu Ruyan was quiet for a moment, and then rushed to my dad. Dad was sitting in a wheelchair and couldn't dodge in time. The whole person was overturned to the ground, and his legs were heavily pressed under the wheelchair. Liu Ruyan grabbed my dad's collar and shook him hard, her mouth and face full of snot bubbles. You old man, did you force me to do this? Aja. Didn't you say that you wanted to see my and Ajang's wedding? How could you tolerate this strange woman marrying Ajang? Hurry up and say that you don't agree to the wedding and cancel it. I shouted. Let my dad go. I jumped off the stage in one step, but the moment I rushed towards my dad, Qin Feng pounced on me and knocked me to the ground. Qin Feng's eyes were bloodshot and his face was full of madness. Why do you, Lu, take away everything from me? I'm in business and you brought your startup company to block my way. I've loved Ruyan for more than 10 years, but I can't resist you. A man sent from the sky. I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. Qin Feng took out a fruit knife from somewhere and was about to stab me. At the critical moment, more than a dozen bodyguards swarmed over. I seized Qin Feng's weakness and punched him in the eye. Taking advantage of the brief gap when Qin Feng lost his sight, I snatched the fruit knife and handed it to the police who arrived in time. Qin Feng, who had misdiagnosed that he had no controlled knives, was quickly captured by me. I threw him to the ground with a violent throw and held his neck tightly with one hand. Qin Feng, the bankruptcy of your company has nothing to do with me, but because you are too stupid. This is my wedding, and it was my wife who asked you to come here personally. How could there be no bodyguards and police on the scene? Or do you think that I, with my 10 years of Sonda experience, cannot beat you? You, a little green tea who can't even hold a knife, are always trying to sow discord with Liu Ruyan. It's because your tricks will never really affect me. You are behind my back and judging my other half. You fan me from behind and I don't even bother to pay attention to you, but who allowed you to bully me? You are ignorant and impulsive, and you do things without considering the consequences. If you can be so powerful in the business world, then we won't make any money. The police took Qin Feng away and Liu Ruyan as well. The moment I was clamped by Qin Feng, Su Qing rushed down in one step, pulled Liu Ruyan away, and threw her aside effortlessly, while she opened her arms to protect my dad tightly. This farce was too ridiculous after all. Liu Ruyan and Qin Feng looked down on Su Qing and me. Since that incident, my dad has completely accepted Su Qing and began to find ways to urge Su Qing to have children. I felt very guilty and apologized to Su Qing many times, but Su Qing returned the 8 million to me. You gave me 8 million because you took advantage of my marriage. I felt guilty and wanted to make amends, but what if I really wanted to marry you? That night I drank a lot of wine and found Su Qing's existence from the depths of my memory. Su Qing and I met in a boxing gym. My relationship with Liu Ruyan began to change 5 years ago. When Liu Ruyan suddenly became arrogant and unreasonable, I had nowhere to vent after every quarrel, so I would come to the boxing gym late at night to practice boxing. But every time I went there was always a girl practicing silently in the corner. One night, several drunks broke into the boxing gym to fight, and to drive away the girl who was training. The girl was beaten black and blue, but she still did not give in and was unwilling to leave. I was already in a bad mood, so I helped and fought with those drunks. If I won, I would let the girl continue training and tell them to get out. As expected, I won in the girl. She apologized to me with a bruised face and bought me a bottle of drink. Out of politeness, I casually asked her why she came to train late at night every day. She smiled at me and said that my job was too dangerous and I was busy during the day. I could only practice hard at night and learn to protect myself. Then we nodded and said goodbye. I never went to that boxing gym again. At that time, my heart and eyes were full of Liu Ruyan, and Su Qing was beaten so badly that I couldn't recognize her face, so I didn't care much. I forgot this incident in the sea of memory until I saw Su Qing's determined eyes and the wound on her wrist again. Then I knew what Su Qing meant by her dangerous job. At that time I just thought she was joking, but I didn't expect that every word she said was sincere. As a girl, she supported a startup company by herself and was in a social relationship that was either black or gray. She struggled hard, was despised, insulted, subjected to violence, and even had unspoken rules. She was powerless to resist and could only practice again and again in the middle of the night, wanting to make herself strong so that she could use her fists to speak when she was bullied and make everyone afraid of her. Later, he gradually made a name for himself and gained a foothold in the business world. He no longer needed to use his fists to speak, but he remembered the kindness I had shown him when he was at his lowest point for the rest of his life. When Qin Feng was imprisoned, Su Qing acquired all of Qin Feng's companies. He went to visit Qin Feng in person to prove to him that sometimes you can't blame others for your own failures. Liu Ruyan's attitude towards me changed drastically 5 years ago, and it was also 5 years ago that she reunited with Qin Feng. That night, Qin Feng fainted downstairs of Liu Ruyan's house in the heavy rain, with half a steamed bun he had picked up in his hand. The former dandy rich second generation seeing him in such a state, Liu Ruyan felt particularly distressed. Following the clues given by Qin Feng, Liu Ruyan discovered that it was me who had snatched away several important projects from Qin Feng, which led to his poverty. Liu Ruyan had an argument with me for the first time. He asked me why I didn't give Qin Feng a way to live when I had already made so much money. But Liu Ruyan was not from a merchant family. He didn't understand that projects depended on fair competition and never belonged to anyone. Liu Ruyan didn't believe his first love either. Qin Feng's company was not clean at all. He was using the surgical company to conduct some illegal transactions. As long as Party A's money flowed from him, the number of casualties would be unpredictable. Liu Ruyan started to lose his temper with me. Well, since you are not willing to take care of my friend, then I will take care of him myself and use my money to help Qin Feng. I made a comeback and helped Qin Feng wholeheartedly. I didn't hesitate to steal my information to let Qin Feng intercept my project, but I was getting richer and richer. Liu Ruyan began to waver under Qin Feng's influence. He began to calculate my property carefully. I don't know where he heard about the importance of premarital property, so he began to think of ways to get more premarital property from me. 18 betrothal gifts were one of his ways, but he didn't know that I had already signed a contract to voluntarily transfer the direct beneficiary of the company. As long as he agreed to marry me, all of this would be given to him along with the 280,000 betrothal gift. When he saw Liu Ruyan, he had just been released from the detention center. His eyes were no longer as arrogant as before, and he was much more restrained in plain clothes. He called me and I knew I was wrong. I could confront him in person. Can you apologize to your uncle? After my dad was beaten by him, his condition took a turn for the worse and he has been put on a ventilator. The doctor said that at this stage, the patient's condition is likely to deteriorate, and the severity depends on the patient's mood. Liu Ruyan provoked my dad that day. In a sense, she is the culprit who harmed my dad, but I still shook my head. You don't deserve to see my dad, but I want you to write a handwritten apology letter and record an apology video and send it to me. I will pass it to my dad. If my dad doesn't get better, I will keep suing you. Liu Ruyan nodded and was silent for a long time. After a long time he spoke again. Would you like to come to my house for dinner? I'll ask my mother to return the more than 3 million betrothal gifts to you, and come to the house to clean up the things you left behind. I was about to refuse, but after hearing the last sentence I nodded and agreed. I have lived with Liu Ruyan for 10 years, and there are many things in his house that I am used to. After all, I was really serious about wanting to spend my whole life with him. I really couldn't bear to throw away these things. I might as well go back and clean them up myself, and supervise Liu's mother to return the embezzled betrothal gifts, jewelry and hardware. After a long time, I came to this house that was once called home again. There was no ripple in my heart. There was a table full of sumptuous meals on the table. Liu Ruyan smiled and stood at the door to greet me, just like every day in the past 5 years. Ajeng is eating. You must have been thinking hard today. Come and have some fish soup. 5 years ago, Liu Ruyan always liked to say this. She had to stick to me and watch me drink up the fish soup. Sometimes she would strictly command me to open my mouth for him to check, and at that time, I also drank it obediently, opened my mouth for him to check, waited for him to nod with satisfaction, and admired his smile, but this time I shook my head and said, give me back the 3 million and I will pack up and leave. Liu Ruyan was a little hurt. Ajeng, you have become disobedient. You used to be reluctant to let me down, but now you don't even want to have a meal with me? I took a step back and showed my wedding ring. We are not in a meal relationship. Give me back the money quickly. I have replaced Su Qing and my wedding ring with a pigeon egg. Liu Ruyan looked at my fingers. Her eyes were naked and full of jealousy. Ajeng, he was supposed to be mine. Can you really bear to let me go? I don't care. You are getting married, and I am willing to be a mistress. Can you buy me a pigeon egg too? Let's start over. I just feel sad for the past 10 years of misplaced sincerity, sad for not having if I had seen Liu Ruyan's true face earlier, why would I have ignored such a tough and independent girl, and instead devoted all my thoughts to this woman who was obsessed with interests and trampled on my dignity again and again? Liu Ruyan smiled bitterly and said, Ajeng, do you think I am materialistic and utilitarian? No, it's because I love you that I do this. You are becoming more and more successful, and I'm afraid you will abandon me. I'm afraid you will despise me for being poor. I can only work hard to make some money for myself so that I won't be too far away from you. Ajeng, I have an inferiority complex. I need to make sure over and over again that you really love me. I love you so much. How could I not agree when you have proposed to me so many times? I'm just afraid that you are just playing around. Believe it or not, if you ask me again, I will. I must agree immediately, okay, Ajeng? I broke free from his hand and went into the house to pack my things, no longer paying attention to what he said, but I didn't expect that he had decorated the house like a proposal. He followed me into the house, fell to his knees with a thump and said, Ajeng, it's okay. If you don't want to propose, I'll propose. I've prepared the flower wall and the diamond ring. Will you marry me? I will never treat you like that. I will try my best to serve you. My way out was blocked by Liu Ruyan, so I sat down helplessly and tried to reason with him. Liu Ruyan, what I need is never a nanny, but someone who can stand shoulder to shoulder with me. Taking money from me continuously does not mean standing shoulder to shoulder with me. Only those who rely on their own continuous progress to climb up are my fellow travelers. Su Qin didn't spend a penny from me. It's been a long time since I last saw him. He has become a rookie in the first echelon. His company will even surpass mine in less than 10 years. He doesn't rely on anyone, nor does he need to feel inferior. He stands there alone and he is a star. This is the other half I want to find. Liu Ruyan, in the past 10 years, no matter how I wanted to treat you, you have been marking time, and even followed Qin Feng to become corrupt and regressed. We are so far apart that we are no longer fellow travelers. You give me back the betrothal money. If my father's condition improves, we can still part ways in peace. Liu Ruyan suddenly went crazy. Su Qing, it's Su Qing again. Ajeng, you have never mentioned other women in front of me. What on earth do you want with this Su Qing? Liu Ruyan roared hysterically and smashed and threw all the luggage I had packed, making the bedroom a mess. After smashing everything, he looked at his watch, then suddenly calmed down and gave me an ambiguous smile. Zheng is fine, it will be over soon, you're Su Qing. I have sent someone to kill him, and when he dies we can go back to the starting point and start over. Zheng, do you still remember 10 years ago, when we first rented a house, you hugged me and said we finally had a home? I strangled Liu Ruyan's throat, lifted her up into the air and said angrily, where is Su Qing? Tell me or you will die. Liu Ruyan continued to laugh and laughed. It's useless, Zheng, it's useless to kill me. Su Qing will definitely die if you kill me. You will lose the 2 women in the world who love you the most at the same time, why bother? Liu Ruyan's face was crooked by my blow. Her teeth fell to the ground, and she could no longer speak. I smashed the safe. There were 3 million in it. I pried Liu Ruyan's hand open again. The diamond ring in the box was not small, and its value was not less than 1 million. However, judging from the style, it was a women's ring. It was not selected by Liu Ruyan herself, but the money Qin Feng asked someone to give to Liu Ruyan. Consider it as you have paid off the debt. I order you to keep it well and go in slowly to pay it back. By the way, Su Qing is not weak or stupid at all. I believe he will survive. After saying that, I left Liu Ruyan's home without looking back. When I left, the police swarmed in and roasted Liu Ruyan to death. I ran home step by step. At the entrance of the alley behind the house, I saw Su Qing staggering towards me. Behind Su Qing were those gangsters from that year, each of them holding a weapon in his hand, but Su Qing won. This time she won by herself. I also won the battle many years ago. In the gamble of marriage I got full marks. The whole article is over.